Hi, my name is Liana and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to talk about exercise and its huge role in your glow up. If you are watching this video, probably you already know how important it is. Probably you already tried, maybe you failed, you want to try to exercise more or on a daily basis, but it's kind of like hard to bring it into your life, like and make it a routine. I'm going to bring you some ideas and some tips which will help you actually make it not miserable and make exercising finally enjoyable and easy to do. When it comes to the exercise, I was never an active person. It came from that school time where I put that idea in my head that I'm not active person, and that actually followed me through my whole life till like recently. You know, when people talking about sport, I was always like, you know what, no, I hate running. I cannot imagine, like I would see the people running in the morning, for example, right? As I always knew that I'm not gonna be that person. When I was already like an adult, I think it was like 26, my friend brought me to the gym. It lasted for 2 years. I lost weight even if it wasn't the plan, but I also saw how my body's getting stronger. I wasn't really like a bodybuilder, right? I was going to the gym more for the purposes of that my muscles are just getting toned. And I started to see how my triceps are becoming visible due to the fact that I was on a diet. Obviously, the percentage of the fat was going down, so I could see my muscles. But then I moved to Germany, and all my routine which I created was just going into the trash. Although for the first months, or I think even the first year, I was going to the gym, but it was not really convenient. Their plans, like the monthly plans, was like absolutely ridiculous. And it was quite far, so I didn't like just going there. So I stopped. I stopped for several years. Yes, we were going for a walk from time to time. We were doing hiking because my husband is German and they are hiking, and we're living close to the mountains. But even when we were going hiking, I was always like, you know what, I hate that. It's not even like, for me, even the view on the top of the mountain is not worth that hike, because that struggle was like, it was so steep. I was dying in the end. Once we went hiking and then we went down for 6 hours. I had like wrong shoes, so it was because of the pressure. It was all, I had to struggle with my nail, whatever. I hated hiking. And then like 2 years ago, I think, I don't know what happened, I thought, you know what, maybe you just change your truth from I'm not an active person and I don't like sports to maybe I do. Maybe I like being active. Maybe I want to do something. So I started from walking. First time when I went for my 10K step walk, it was so exhausting because in the end my legs were falling off. I thought that it's so hard to do, and I stopped again. So occasionally I was walking, occasionally we did something again, but there was no regular sport in my life. And then slowly again I was coming back to that thought again and again because I didn't feel good and energized in my body. I was watching some documentaries about the health. The movement was always there. Together with the nutrition, yes, but the movement was kind of like essential for the human's life. Once I watched that movie about the blue zones, those people who are living until 100 years, right? They are not even like going to the gym. They are not doing any particular sport. They are just moving. And I think that was the essential part. Not that you are doing 1 hour hard training in the gym and then the rest of the day you are just lying. And it's actually better if you are moving throughout the day. Even if you are doing just the chores at home, that is also fine because you are just getting up, you are moving and stuff. My granny, she's 86 years old now, and her whole life she was moving and still moving. And I think that's the reason why she's like still energized, still looking fresh and very active. And I couldn't say that her diet was like in particular the healthiest one. It was always bread, it was always something like baked stuff, right, with the dough. But she was all the time moving. And every time when I was going to the summers to visit my granny, it was always like, it was never ending work. Even to go to the bathroom outside of the house, you had to go outside of the house and walk your steps. So that thought of the movement and that my body wanted to move brought me to the point where I said, you know what, I want to give it a try. I want to try go running. The first time, after just 10 seconds, when the moment I started running, the way I felt myself, I felt very old, I felt very heavy. Everything was hurting. I was breathing, my pulse was so high, and mind you, I was just running like a walking speed. It was so hard. I had to stop every 10 meters just to catch my breath. But even if it was a disaster at some point and I felt very unsporty, I loved it. I was so proud of myself that I felt like I'm gonna do it again. And I did. And I did it a couple of times, but then I stopped again. And then at some point last year, April, I decided that it's nice weather. I'm just gonna do running again, but let me first start from the fast walking. I bought myself a watch. I started to track my step first. Just me having a watch motivated me to walk more because I finally saw how much I'm walking. Helped me in the beginning very much. And in the beginning, I was just going on a short walk. And the way back it was 6,000, and then I went again every single day, and then I started to increase it a little bit and going further. Then I started to run. I wasn't running every single day, but I was mixing it. I tried to run, for example, every second day, and in between I was going for a walk. It was a really good time. I felt so energized. I felt like I can do things. You feel yourself very proud when you are doing sport because you know that it's for your health. You have to look at it from the perspective, I want to move rather than I have to move and I need to move because I need to lose weight, because I need to do this and that. No, if you look at it from the perspective of health, you can change that story and say like, I want to go for a walk and I want to run because I want to bring a little bit of health to my body and I want to make my body feel good. After you do that, you mentally think like, oh my god, I'm so thankful that I did that. I'm so proud of myself that I went for a walk, that I did a certain type of movement. You never regret a workout. It's never happening. Even if your brain and your body knows how good it is afterwards, sometimes you are still resisting, and you are resisting because it feels like a chore. It doesn't have to feel like a chore for you. You have to change that narrative of you have to and you need to you want to. So this is kind of like a mental trick, right? To bring yourself into the mood to exercise. Again, for me, it was the health perspective helped me to start loving exercise. It wasn't I want to exercise because I want to lose weight. I have the goal to lose weight, but it's not related to exercising. I'm not doing exercise to lose weight. There are some small things which can help you keep exercising as a routine. You have to start small. You can start from 2 minutes exercising, stop after 2 minutes, and then come back next day. For example, let's talk about running. Let's say first day you put your running shoes and your running clothes on the chair. You do not go running. The next day you wear your clothes, do not go running. Next day you do the same and you just go outside, stay, do not go running, come back. So you are kind of creating that habit of wearing your clothes, wearing your shoes and going out. Another thing is the technical stuff or some things which can help you to do or make the experience of exercising nice. It would be a nice gym outfit, headphones, for example, the watch, good running shoes. If you are also doing yoga, maybe you are buying yourself a really nice mat. I don't want to say that you shall buy the expensive stuff, but I find that it works for me, that if I buy something expensive, I just feel like it's a waste of money just not to use that. So if you buy, for example, a little bit more expensive gym clothes or like running shoes, right, you will be thinking like, okay, I just like wasted my money or what, I shall use it. If you also have the aesthetic eye that for you it's important that the things are beautiful, then it also might help for you to buy something nice, again, like outfits or whatever the equipment is for the sport you want to do. For example, if you want to go hike, maybe like a really nice backpack. And I think those things really can help to continue doing the exercise. The watch is also something good because you can see your progress. I can compare myself not with other people, which is useless, which I think you are not doing because it just makes no sense, but compare with yourself. How did you run last time? And if you are a woman watching this, you have to always keep in mind your cycle, because your performance might be influenced by the cycle. If you are on the luteal phase or if you are on your period, then of course your performance might go down. You have to compare your performance with the same phases in your follicular phase last month and this month. It might be really discouraging if you are seeing a peak last month, but then during the month you're going down, forgetting about the cycle. It's really important. Since I mentioned the cycle, try not to over exercise on your luteal phase if you do not feel like, and also on your menstrual phase. Of course, if you feel very energized anyway, you do not have any symptoms, then just you do you. But if you have, you just make it down. About the combining exercises and what actually to do. I don't want to be a hater, but for me, if you are on the TikTok, it seems like there are only two types of exercising. It's the gym and the Pilates at the moment. I do not know why it is, and it's good that it's both are trending, but it might be a little limiting for some people because they simply cannot go to the gym or don't wanna, or they hate going to the gym, etc. I like to try new things and I don't wanna to limit myself just to this or that particular exercising. So I do walking, which I do not count as exercising, but when you are doing 10k steps, I think it still counts. I do running. At the moment, not that often because it was super cold. I do not enjoy going for a run in the cold because afterwards I have my sore throat. But now when it's getting warmer, I definitely will start more often to go running. And I gotta say that I don't run on a treadmill. For some people, that's like a good replacement. At the moment, there are also like that walking small treadmills, which you can do at home, and that's okay. But I don't like running on the treadmill because I simply have that fear that I will just slip and I will just either break my teeth or break my neck or head and whatever. I personally don't like doing cardio at the gym. If I would be doing it, probably I wouldn't choose the treadmill for myself, but I would choose the ellipse because that's actually, in my head, looks more safe and it's easier on your knees. Another thing I do, since I found out the move with Nicole, I'm doing the mat Pilates at home, and she also has the yoga classes. My favorite class was the one which is 10 minutes morning yoga. If you start from that, if you never did yoga, you start from that and you will do it again and again and again, you will see how you will progress even with that workout. It's just simply gonna be easier, and then you can switch to the ones which are 15 minutes. Do not jump directly if you're just starting. Do not jump directly to the 30, 40, 50 minutes Pilates advanced because you will feel yourself that you cannot do anything. This will be discouraging. I think Nicole doesn't have the 5 minutes, but there are plenty of YouTube Pilates or yoga classes starting from 5 minutes, which is a great thing to start. You can do 5 minutes, for example, the whole week, then switch to maybe 10 minutes, then to 15, 20, and then you will see that your bodies already can do more when you are doing your downward facing dog, that your arms are not shaking trying to hold your weight, and maybe your heels are already touching the mat. And the same with Pilates, because in my city I do not have the Pilates reformer classes and studio, so I'm doing it at home and I'm feeling really comfortable. I'm doing it at home in the morning. I just turn on the YouTube on my TV, which is like a big screen. I'm just doing it together with Nicole. Another exercise which I implemented in the end of the last year, which was not really like for the purposes of exercises, but I wanted to learn to swim. So last year I was taking the classes. It was just the 6 hours, so every week one lesson for the breast swimming. If you are in a bigger body or if you are overweight and you feel like running is really extra hard for you because it might be also not really good for your knees because of the extra weight, swimming here is just the perfect combination of you are training your cardiovascular system, you are also feeling super light in water, so you can move. And it actually, if you can swim, I would absolutely recommend it. If you cannot swim, I would absolutely recommend to learn how to swim in the pool. And of course it was really nice for me, so I finished that last year. I finished those 6 classes with the breast swimming. I enrolled myself to a new course for the crawl swimming, which is going on now, which I still have, I think, like 4 lessons left, and I enjoy them so much. I enjoy not only the fact that I improve every single lesson. I started going in between, so it's like once a week, and I started to go once in between the lessons because she recommended that I train, which I already learned on the previous lessons, and I also just enjoy it. So, and I love it so much because at first I learned something new, which is absolutely great. My body loves it so much. I think it's super healthy, it's good for your lungs. I cannot sell it more. I think swimming is just perfect. Swimming is just the best. Swimming is just great. Another exercise which I'm doing, which I think is super good for your health, it's the exercises for posture and for the mobility. I started those classes 2 weeks ago, and I was doing it not every single day, but almost. Those exercises are really gentle. I don't know how to explain it, but your body really like feels like loose. It's kind of like yoga, but not really. For example, your hips are not that loose, right? Or your neck is going to the front, right? When it's supposed to sit straight, and that's my problem, for example. It's kind of like putting all parts of the body in the right order, starting from the feet, the knees, for the hips. The older we get, the less mobility we have, and that stretching and mobility exercises, they're really important, and I'm really enjoying them because my body feels like it's opening, you know, especially if you are sitting the whole day at work, or you are standing, or you are just sitting in the phone, right? Which I'm doing because my work is the phone based, and my head is already going down. Then I have the headaches, then I have like the neck pain, then I have the shoulder blades, I have the pain in my chest. Life after 30, you know. Another exercise which I'm planning to do maybe in summertime, it's tennis. It's not the most healthiest one because your shoulder, you can have some traumas of your shoulder, I think. I'm not quite sure yet. I see a lot of old people playing tennis. I think this is such a what rich people do. I just romanticize it very much. I want to wear the tennis dresses and tennis skirts and be that person who is playing tennis. Alternative for tennis is like squash, right? But I think that I do not enjoy it that much. I haven't played yet though, and maybe I'm being close-minded in this case as well, but I'm not romanticizing the squash as I do with the tennis. If exercise is bringing you joy, that's really helpful to make that exercise be in your routine and in your life for a really long period of time. You do not have to be that person who says just I'm the Pilates girly or I'm the gym girl. You can be the swimming person, you can be playing tennis, you can be running, or you can be just walking and moving, and in general active person. You can be hiking, and where I want to be that person, dancing. I watched once the documentary, and I think it was mentioned more for older people, which exercising and what type of movement is the best when you are like getting older. And I think the dancing was the first place, except obvious that you are moving. It's good for your heart because aerobic movement, right? But at the same time, it's good for coordination, especially if you are learning some steps, and it's good for the brain. And of course, who doesn't like music and dancing? This is just amazing, and it's like a good skill to have, especially if you have a partner. You could do it like together, learn some Latin dance, for example. I was dancing when I was a child. I was taking the classes at school, then I stopped, then I started again, and it was going through all my life. I love dancing, and I want to actually go and learn some styles. That's the plan when maybe my swimming course will be over. I don't want to like do everything at the same time. As you can see, even I, like as a person who was not really active, already does a walking, running, swimming, posture and mobility exercises, planning to do the dance and the tennis, for example. I do not do gym at the moment, but I have the gym equipment at home, and I wanted to implement at least one weightlifting session at home, because I do have still the online classes which I didn't go through yet, and I really want to do that because I think the weightlifting is great, and I do not have to. This is so much information about that. The weightlifting is good for your muscles, and it's also good for your bones. So do not exclude that exercises just because I didn't mention it. It's obviously great. I mentioned today a lot of things about exercising. The main thing what I want to say is do not be that person who says, I'm not sporty, I'm not active. Be open-minded and let yourself be active and sporty. Also let yourself try new things. If you do not try, you will not know. Even if you say, I will not like that type of sport, you try it first, and better if you try it several times and only then make your conclusion. Let it be your rule before you make a conclusion and say no to things. You try things at least like 1 to 3 times. Of course, do not limit yourself to certain exercises. It doesn't have to be that your routine is just every single day is Pilates. You can do it 1 time a week even, and the rest of the week you are doing something else what you enjoy more. Try to think about when you are choosing the exercises that they are not all going in what direction. You know that different exercises, they are good for different things. Nothing can really replace the weightlifting at the gym or at home with the weights. In Pilates, you are working with your own weight, and even if it's not gonna like help you to gain muscle mass and grow your gluteus maximus, it will make you stronger anyway, because when you are standing on the plank, for example, and you are holding your whole body, your arms have that load. I wouldn't still put those 2 exercises together, but the gym is really like building the muscles. And what is the gym is lacking normally is, for example, the stretching and mobility. So if you combine those 2, this is gonna be, if you are working on your mobility and stretching, it's gonna help a lot with seeing the results better. Also, for example, do not exclude cardio at all because you hate. I do not understand why people are comparing the weightlifting and cardio, because those are like having the 2 different purposes. I know what is the problem of the people, because they are always comparing the exercises from the losing weight point of view. Stop doing that, because this makes no sense. You can do whatever you want and still not lose weight. Unless you are taking care of your nutrition, probably you will not see any losing weight results. Weightlifting is good for your muscles, for like your bones, right? Cardio exercises like running, for example, good for your cardiovascular system. So why would you exclude one and say like, I will better do the weightlifting because it will help me to lose weight? Do not look from that perspective. Look from your health, because you have to work in the complex for your whole body. You have to take care about your cardiovascular, you have to lift weights for your muscle and the bone density, and you have to make the mobility exercise that you are simply not ruining the whole progress, or the progress goes faster. So I hope I changed your perspective a little bit. Like I said, a lot of people doing that mistake of taking the exercise as a chore, taking the exercise as something what it will help to lose weight, making the exercise as a miserable activity. It doesn't have to be that way. It can be really pleasant. You know that it's good for your body. You just have to find your exercise, start from small and build up your progress. Always compare yourself just with yourself and no one else. And of course, set up the goals, and not only huge goals, but also the goals in the middle. I will talk about it also in the video about habits, how to create the habits, make them easy to implement, that they are lasting longer. Please subscribe to my channel, leave me a comment, a like if you like this video. I will see you in the next one. Bye!